In SML, you have some characters who wouldn't be strong enough to break a pencil in half, and others that are literally godlike beings that have power beyond our imagination. And today, we're going to be going over all of the characters from weakest to strongest, starting off with the characters in the bacteria strength category. And the weakest one of those by far is Ken. Ken is literally a doll. All jokes aside, Ken is the weakest character in SML, despite what his boyfriend Cody might tell you. Throughout his years in SML, we've been told that he's a lawyer, astronaut, doctor, scientist for the NBA, but we've never actually seen proof of any of this. And we've never seen him talk either. But he does have some weird moments where he's moved and thought on his own. Like when he was ready to kill Cody when they almost won the lottery in SML movie Bowser Jr.'s lottery ticket. That being said, Ken has gotten himself overpowered very easily on several different occasions. Like the time he got himself thrown out the window by Junior and Joseph in SML movie Sick Ken, and another time where he literally died by being blended in SML movie Milk Shaken. We've also seen Ken get cut in half in several occasions, adding evidence for him being super weak. Like when he was broken in SML movie Broken, and another time where he was broken in SML movie Sunken. Even when Ken turned into a large puppet, he was still able to be lit on fire by Cody very easily in SML movie Spokane.
Let me light this candle.
So beating the strength of a literal plastic toy who doesn't do anything is a low bar to clear. But who's actually the weakest real person in SML? Well, the best contender for that is Brooklyn Guy's brother, Jonathan. Jonathan is certainly stronger than Ken, but that's pretty easy for him to do, as he isn't really stronger by much. Whenever we see Jonathan in SML, it's extremely obvious to someone who sees him for the first time that he's pretty weak. We see that he gets bullied and pushed over around by other characters, like when Junior makes fun of him for his lisp in SML movie Junior's Karma, with Jonathan not standing up for himself. And he even gets bullied and talked down to by his father in SML movie Brooklyn Guy's dad. He's also shown himself to be ridiculously physically weak as well, such as the time he claims he has super weak bones in SML movie Neighborhood Watch, and also when he gets himself assaulted by Brooklyn Guy for sleeping with his wife in SML movie Brooklyn Guy Switch.
Karen, no, really, it's me. We switched bodies back.
No, we didn't.
What? Ow, hello, okay, back.
We switched back. We switched back.
Speaking of Karen, we see that Jonathan constantly tries to be with her and take from Brooklyn Guy, doing some very NSFW things to his dolls instead, and even buys thousands of dollars worth of bathwater, doing all of these things instead of actually talking to a girl, showing a lack of motivation and weakness. Jonathan is stronger than a doll as a full-grown adult, but even there, he's still weaker than our next character on the list, Benjamin Goodman, who is a literal baby. Benjamin made his first appearance in SML movie Mr. Goodman's Baby, where Mario was asked to watch him after Goodman didn't want to babysit him, and passed the responsibility onto Mario, who was annoyed about keeping Benjamin until he figured out that Benjamin literally printed money until Goodman took him back. Despite this incredible ability, we can't deny the simple fact that he's still a baby and has the limitations of a baby. He needs to be changed, he needs to be fed, and he can't even really lift his head up sometimes, like we see in SML movie Squid Games Part 1 and 2. Even with these limitations, we still see that he's not too far from his father, by being money obsessed and even commenting on other girls' body parts as well.
And look at your titties. How much do those cost you?
Benjamin, stop it.
How about you pull that shirt down and let me bob for some titties? Oh.
So that's the end of the characters who rival the specks of dust in terms of strength. But let's move further onto the next category of characters, who have the strength of a small baby. The first one of these characters being the most bullied character in SML. That being the butler, Chives. Chives has been the butler for several characters in SML, like being Joseph's butler in his first appearance in SML movie Joseph the Millionaire, Jeffy's butler in SML movie Jeffy's Butler 1 and 2, and most infamously, the butler of Goodman and his family. The only consistent thing we see between them is all of his different employers constantly bully and harass him, and poor Chives never stands up for himself. We see that when he's Joseph's butler, However, he's constantly bullied by Joseph and verbally assaulted, with Joseph having him do ridiculous things like getting a cup of boiling water. We see that Chives often smarts off to these requests, but never actually does anything about all of this abuse from Joseph. The same thing happens to Chives when he becomes the butler of Jeffy, where every time he's been his butler, he's assaulted in various ways, like having burritos thrown at him and being screamed at for not coloring inside of the lines. This torture from all the boys pales in comparison to the torture that he gets from Goodman, however, with Goodman certainly deserving to be arrested for the way that he treats Chives. Goodman has done terrible things to him, like forcing Chives to sit on a champagne bottle all the way up inside of him. And later, when Mr. Goodman gets arrested in SML movie Mr. Goodman Goes to Jail, he forces Chives to lay on the hard prison bed so Goodman can lay on top of him, and he's forced to lick the toilet bowl clean.
Chives, we don't have time for that. I have to now. Lick. Chives, clockwise. Come on.
It's on my tongue. I think
Lick.
I'm sick.
Up, Chives. Lick.
Despite this, Chives never fights back from these horrendous acts, whether it be because he desires money or because of his old age, but regardless, these acts portray him as a pretty weak and easily manipulated character. Our next character is pretty weak as well, but at least he has some modest strength and backbone compared to Chives, with that character being Cody. Cody's a pretty interesting character to look at when measuring strength, as when you look at him, especially with his shirt off, he's pretty hunky, and he has a nice six-pack. However, when it's time for that strength to actually be used, we see that it's pretty worthless. There are plenty of ridiculous examples that we can point to for this, such as the time that he struggled to help Chef Pee Pee move the refrigerator in SML movie Forsaken, or the much more hilarious time where he tried looking intimidating and breaking a pencil, struggling immensely in SML movie Sicken.
Come on, Brick. Give me some golden broke. Yeah.
Cody's weakness also comes in part from his absolutely insane amount of medical disorders, which are included, but not limited to him having type 1 diabetes, cerebral palsy, and an incredibly long list of allergies to certain things, like garlic, certain perfumes, and literally just being allergic to secondary colors. He was also somehow born without a reflection, which just flat out defies the laws of physics.
I was born without a reflection.
What? You were born without a reflection?
Yeah.
How's that even possible?
Yeah, I don't know. My mom drank when she was pregnant, and I was just born without a reflection.
So that makes Cody's hunkiness fake, but he's only slightly weaker than this next character on the list, that being the incredibly overweight ogre, Shrek. In SML, one of Shrek's defining character traits is how truly lazy he is, and with this personality trait being super consistent throughout the whole time we've seen him in SML, it's no wonder that he's pretty weak, especially since all he does is eat cheesecake and other unhealthy foods, like McDonald's and Taco Bell. Shrek's weakness is shown many other times in much more ridiculous ways, like the time in SML movie Shrek's Coma, where Shrek's body gives out after he literally eats 15 cheesecakes in one sitting, requiring him to get a body transplant. And another time we see this is in SML movie Shrek's Diet, where he was eating cheesecake in the bathroom, leading him to pass out and discover he has diabetes. And he eats so much cheesecake that his blood is literally just Velveeta cheese. He's then forced to work out after this, which he clearly struggles with very much. But he then throws it all away after eating cheesecake again and becoming super fat.
Shrek, no! Shrek! Why are you eating all that cheesecake? Shrek, come on, you lost all that weight.
I'm so full, donkey.
He's also easily outsmarted and overpowered by Junior and Jeffy in SML movie Shrek the Babysitter, where he's tasked to watch Jeffy and Junior by Mario. But after having to leave to take a crap, Jeffy and Junior lock him in the bathroom with a chair, completely trapping him in there. Unless his cheesecake was on the line, of course. Then some strength comes out of him. So Shrek ends the category of our baby strength characters. But what about the characters who don't have a lot of strength, but would be considered below average by most standards? Let's take a look at our next character on the list, Junior. One of the things we can say about Junior is that he is truly all talk. He's always very quick to insult Cody and be disrespectful to other people, but when crap hits the fan, he doesn't really have much strength to show. One of the funniest examples we see of this is in SML movie Bowser Jr. Learns Karate. In this video, we see Junior playing at the park with his Thomas toy until this is interrupted by Bully Bill, who beats up Junior and steals his toy. boy. He tries to get his dad and Brooklyn guy to help, to no avail. And then he decides to learn karate from Jackie Chu, who teaches him well. Unfortunately, Junior is still too weak, and as such, just resorts to sticking chopsticks in Bully's eyes. Apart from this, we see Junior get beat up by gang members in SML movie Orange is the New Black. And most hilariously, we see him get beat up not once, not twice, but 3 times in SML movie Bowser Jr.'s YouTube channel for saying the N-word, eventually getting him put in a wheelchair.
What happened to your eyes?
Oh, I got those from saying n***a.
Okay, where did you even learn that word, Junior?
So Junior's pretty laughable, but at least you can say that he's a dumb kid, unlike the next fully grown adult on this list, that being the ever annoying Rose. When Rose was first introduced in SML movie Mario's New Girlfriend, we see that she was fragile enough to the point where she got upset by the sun taking the stars away from her during the day, setting the scene for how insufferable she would be in the future. Rose being weak truly boils down to how physically weak she is, but also how fragile and insecure she is too. We see this when she overpowers Mario and beats him up in SML movie Jeffy's cell phone because she thinks that he ordered a prostitute. But this beat up comes from her assuming that Mario did this. She also does a similar thing in SML movie Goodman's Revenge, where she thinks Mario is cheating on him with Peach. And instead of talking, she goes right to attacking Mario with a hammer, leading to her getting arrested when she hits Goodman's car.
Run, Daddy, she's crazy!
Ah! Put the hammer down!
Mario, I'm gonna hit you!
Ah!
What was that?
She also basically never stands up for Marvin in any situation that he gets into an argument with Jeffy. Instead of being positive and taking Jeffy's side, when all Mario did was spank Jeffy for saying the F-slur repeatedly all day long. So this section turned into a rant about Rose, but to be honest with you, she deserves it. And you know that she does. Moving on, and speaking of Marvin, he's our next and last character on the list in the below average strength section. SML loves to start videos on the red couch. And a lot of the time, you're gonna see Marvin on that red couch doing absolutely nothing, surprisingly. This is just one of the many ways that Marvin shows himself to be fairly weak and incompetent. Like Junior, we see Mario often get beat up for a variety of reasons. Like when he was beat up by Tyrone when Jeffy kept saying the F-slur like we mentioned earlier. Or the time he got himself repeatedly knocked out by D-Money whenever D-Money started talking to Rosalina, making her jealous yet again. We also see him get absolutely demolished in SML movie Marvin's Revenge, where he tries to get revenge against robbers who stole from his house. Even with all these weak moments, Marvin certainly isn't the weakest guy in SML by a long shot, which is proven with examples like SML movie Toad's Mistake, where he teams up with Mama Luigi to beat the mess out of Toad for touching Mama Luigi's nickel, or the other time where he uses a mega mushroom to grow massive and absolutely crush Super D in SML movie Jeffy's Big Idea.
I don't care if you have a husband. Husband ends in end anyway, so you should just end it.
Actually, it ends in and.
Well, and we should totally kiss. It'd be hot.
Super D, I don't want to kiss you!
So overall, this puts Marvin in the more average category. But like we said at the beginning, he and the characters beneath him are truly ants compared to the characters at the top of this list. Moving forward, let's take a look at our next group of characters, those being the normal strength category. And we're gonna start this off with Chef Pee-Pee. Chef Pee-Pee shares a lot of similarities to Junior in the sense that both of them do a whole lot of talk but no action. But the difference with Chef Pee-Pee is that he's actually kinda gangster. Like the example we mentioned earlier with Junior saying the N-word, and Chef Pee-Pee being responsible for putting him in the wheelchair. We've also seen Chef Pee-Pee knock Bully out with a single punch in SML movie The Fight, and we know that Bully is a character that can hold his own. And a time that we see Chef Pee-Pee hold his own is during SML movie The Purge, being the last character that survives attempting to murder Junior. We also get to see Chef Pee-Pee's strength in much more ridiculous ways as well, like when Chef Pee-Pee fights Jeffy for some Dragon Balls in SML movie Jeffy Ball Z, and he fights back against Jeffy using his enchilada ray, with him only being overpowered by Jeffy shooting his nipple laser, as stupid as that is. So that makes Chef Pee-Pee pretty good for an average man, but he's still a little on the below average side. Next up, we got Brooklyn Guy. One of the first few times we see Brooklyn Guy's strength in SML is in SML movie Bowser Jr. Learns Karate, where he ends up getting beat up by Bully Bill and his dad. But since those days, he's done a lot better for himself. Brooklyn Guy has several jobs, as we know, including a lot of blue-collar jobs like being a cop or a firefighter, or some even worse jobs like being a robber. With all of these jobs causing him to at least stay physically active and not complacent, he's also had some incredible feats of strength and endurance, like being able to hold his own against a gorilla in SML movie 3 Men and a Gorilla. He's still definitely had some moments of weakness, hilariously enough though, like the time when Jeffy got turned into a baby in SML movie Baby Jeffy, and Brooklyn Guy got beat up pretty badly by a baby, or when he got his tail handed to him in a rematch with Candy Randy in SML movie Brooklyn Guy's Big Fight.
Come on, you don't know how to use a remote. Ow! Oh, that is it. Come here.
Oh my god, look! I got the old juice, I got it!
So yeah, Brooklyn Guy is definitely average at best, but that's not the same thing that we can say about this next character on our list. Bowser, also known as Braxton, is a character that has been around for quite a while, having some pretty impressive feats of strength at the same time, and some very lazy moments, certainly leveling out his power level. For example, if we look back to Bowser's old appearances in the episodes of Mario and Luigi's Stupid and Dumb Adventures, we can see Bowser have some ridiculous strength, like bringing people back to life, and being able to kill Black Yoshi very easily without breaking a sweat. He did also get himself beat up by Mama Luigi though, so take that how you will.
Die, Black Yoshi.
Throughout the years, it's safe to say Bowser has become a lot more complacent. He became increasingly lazy, watching Charlie and Friends all the time, and having Chef Pee-Pee do basically everything for him. This evolved further and further until we got the Braxton we have today, who basically embodies being lazy in SML and not doing anything, except for occasionally showing up to bully Jr. or Chef Pee-Pee. But speaking of Mama Luigi, that ends this category and allows us to move on to our next one, of the characters who have reached their peak strength. And to start this off, let's look at my boy Mama Luigi. Mama Luigi is a character that has not had any appearances in SML for quite a while, but back in the early days of SML, he was quite the fan favorite, and had some impressive feats of strength, as long as we can ignore all of the stupid things that he's done. One of the most hilarious examples of strength is in Mario and Luigi's Stupid and Dumb Adventures Season 1, Episode 9, where he finally beats up Bowser and absolutely annihilates him for stupid reasons, ending the fight with him by drawing a mustache on him. We see the aggressiveness continue in one of the most iconic classic SML videos of all time, that being SML movie Toad's Mistake, where we see that Toad touched seemingly a random nickel on the ground, only for him to discover that this is Mama Luigi's nickel, causing him to absolutely beat the crap out of Toad with baseball bats, pillowcases with bars of soap, and even being microwaved alive, leading to his death.
Yeah, that's exactly what you deserve! Alright. So Luigi, why did we just do all those things to Toad?
Oh, it's super simple, Mario. Super simple.
We can even see this happen to Toad again in the 2017 remake, where basically the same thing happens to Toad again, showing Mama Luigi's absolutely insane strength. Mama Luigi's got a lot of strength for such a little guy, but our next character shows that strength can be physical, but also be the power you hold metaphorically, and that character is one of the richest characters in SML, Mr. Goodman. Back in the classic days of SML, Mr. Goodman was your average run-of-the-mill cop and lawyer, but he increasingly changed from that to an absolutely horrible rich person. Mr. Goodman has shown some of his physical strength in various episodes, including videos like SML movie Cody Plays Tennis, where we see him absolutely demolishing Cody while playing tennis and having zero remorse for it.
Are you ready, loser?
Yeah.
Bitch!
Ooh, the kid took one right in the gob. All right, that's 30 love. Goodman's still in the lead.
We also see the strength being used to overpower other people as well, such as constantly assaulting Chives for ridiculous reasons, and being strong enough as well to do things like bite Black Yoshi's nipples off. With Mr. Goodman though, we see his strength often represented by his amount of wealth and impact on other characters. We see this in instances like when he bullies Mario for not having his house payment and literally paying off the police to get his way in videos like SML movie The Fender Bender. This is also represented in the way he treats the staff he pays, having his maid Patricia do some disgusting favors for Mr. Goodman under the table. It's also common knowledge that he owns several companies in the SML universe, like Walmart, Domino's, and GoFundMe as well, creating a massive amount of power that he has on other characters through his wealth. To end this category of peak strength, let's take a look at the original thug of SML that took no disrespect from any other character, that being Black Yoshi. Even though Dougie is pretty weak and passive, that's a far cry from the Black Yoshi we're used to seeing. In Black Yoshi's first appearance in SML, he literally shot Toad for simply being too close to his car and singing, letting us know early that he meant business. Through this time in the old house, he took care of business even if it wasn't always physical. We see him stealing speakers from a random guy just because his speaker was broken, fighting off another gangster to rescue his then future girlfriend Delilah, and just full on helping Shrek to kill a bird because it was annoying both of them. However, one of the most ridiculous examples we see of Black Yoshi handling business is in SML movie How Black Yoshi Saved Christmas. In this video, we see a random guy played by Lavelle break into the SML house and stealing all of the presents from them. He insults Tony and makes a lot of noise, but he's only stopped from stealing presents because of Black Yoshi coming in to save the day.
I'm sick.
Ho, ho, ho.
But finally, we've made it to our second to last category, that being characters who have a right to be called nothing less than superhuman. And to start off, let's look at SML's cash cow, Jeffy. The feats of strength that Jeffy has shown throughout SML are nothing short of absolutely insane. For starters, we can estimate that Jeffy has absolutely demolished Bully dozens of times at the very least, never losing or even struggling with the fights he has. Jeffy has also destroyed tons of people in the SML universe, like Brooklyn Guy as Baby Jeffy and the monster under his bed. His most infamous smackdown comes in SML movie Jeffy's 21st birthday, where he absolutely beats CJ senseless for trying to do awful things to Phoebe.
Yeah, something like.
Shit, that's a hell of a payday.
What, Jeffy, I don't think you should bet all your money on one number. Maybe just spread it out or bet on a color.
No, I think I'm gonna leave it where it is.
Hey, he a grown-ass man. Let him bet. Shit.
Yeah, Marvin, he's 20 years old.
Jeffy also somehow has Dragon Ball powers on top of his raw physical strength, allowing him to do crazy things like make Kamehameha and nipple lasers, leading him to destroy several characters in the SML universe who also have much less powerful Dragon Ball powers, like Chef Pee-Pee and Cody. He also beat Vegeta Jr. and Nappa, even when Jr. turned into a monkey as well. But unfortunately for Jeffy, the only character that he's ever struggled fighting is this next character on our list. We're introduced to Frieza in SML movie Jeffy Ball Z Episode 3, as we learn that he's the boss of Vegeta and is trying to get all of the Dragon Balls. Jeffy eventually brings all of the balls after being tricked, but instead of Frieza getting his wish, Jeffy defeats him in the battle. Unfortunately for Jeffy, Frieza comes back even stronger than ever, beating Brooklyn Guy after tricking him and stealing all his powers, allowing Frieza to come back and fight Jeffy. When he comes back, he kills Jeffy's parents and Brooklyn Guy, and kills Vegeta as well, even when Vegeta goes Super Saiyan. And after this, Jeffy is then only able to beat Frieza with his newfound strength after he tricks him and shoots him with a Distracto disc, finally killing him.
Distracto disc!
During his time on screen, we learned that Frieza was incredibly strong to overpower both Brooklyn Guy and Vegeta with all his powers, with his powers possibly not even being able to be stopped unless Jeffy didn't outsmart him. Despite all of this strength, he's still less powerful than our final character in the Superhuman category, Super D. Super D was introduced as one of Rosalina's ex-boyfriends in SML movie Jeffy's 16th birthday, and Super D's whole gimmick was that he was a literal superhero, with various powers like super speed to rush and grab a car, and super strength to carry that car back to the SML house. He's also been shown to have a variety of other ridiculous powers, such as lie detector powers to see if people are lying, and also having cake vision to turn things into cakes.
Cake vision?
Yeah, show him.
Oh, come on, babe. You know I don't like to show off.
That's the coolest cake ever!
He's also shown himself to be about equal strength to the other superheroes in SML, like Super Big D, as shown when they fought and it ended in a draw in SML movie Jeffy's Crayons. He did struggle fighting super huge long-lasting Big Girthy D when they fought him, but that's probably just because they were measuring and not even fighting that much. But finally, we've made it to the end of the list, with the truly most powerful characters in all of SML. Characters that truly have some god-level strength that could destroy the entire universe. And just to start, let's look at the most recent character in this category, the Genie. The Genie made his first appearance in SML movie Jeffy's Magical Genie, and during this time, he mostly got relegated to the guy that gives Jeffy, Marvin, and Brooklyn guy Blumpkins whenever they hit their button that they wished for. But this is a huge disservice to the absolute unit of strength that the Genie is. To anyone who's been living under a rock and doesn't understand how a Genie works, you rub a lamp that the Genie lives in, and when he emerges from it, you get 3 wishes. But those 3 wishes could be for absolutely anything, from simple things like getting 20 bucks, to some reality warping things like creating things out of thin air, or even having godlike powers of your own. In the first video, we see Jeffy waste all the Genie's powers on getting Blumpkins stupidly, but Marvin uses the insane power of the Genie a little better by wishing for $1 billion in his bank account. But then he blows his last chance to set the Genie free, and gets some instant karma when Goodman tells him that the money deposited was gone, leading Marvin to get his anger out in a very unhealthy way.
But you put that money back!
No, we've already taken it out.
But you... Oh!
What's wrong, Marvin?
Oh, I'm gonna take my anger out on that Blumpkin.
So that's the power of the Genie being wasted on Blumpkins, but his power is still pathetic in comparison to our next character on the list, that being Craig, being the devil in the SML universe. And with this power, he has access to some of the craziest things, like being able to appear out of nowhere and grant physical changes to people, like when he gave Joseph a new shell in SML movie Joseph's New Shell, and even having the power to bring people back from the dead, like when we see him bring Chef Pee-Pee back to life in SML movie Evil Chef Pee-Pee.
Chef Baby, you're alive! Chef Baby!
Craig is also the ruler of hell in SML, where billions and billions of people are sent under his command, like we've seen in SML movie Satan Claus. With millions of people under his command, the power that Craig holds is absolutely massive and problematic, making him the second strongest character in SML. But he is absolutely minuscule compared to the objectively strongest character in all of SML, God. Nobody should really be surprised here, but the character called God in SML is by far the strongest. In his first appearance, we see that Junior wishes that he was never born, and what God does is literally change the fabric of reality to take Junior back in time and show him an alternate universe where he's never been born. He also claims to have destroyed all the dinosaurs, as well as switching Marvin and Goodman's body for fun, and also answering several people's prayers by teleporting out of nowhere, showing that he can be present at any time. He also has an extra form on top of God, known as Mega God, that he achieves when he gets 10,000 likes on Facebook, allowing him to do several things such as bail Luke out of jail and cure his cancer.
I'm now a Mega God!
Can you get Luke out of jail and heal his sickness?
I can do anything! Pooh!
Funnily enough though, God somehow has a mother and father, which we see in SML movie Brooklyn Guy's Pet Detective, which doesn't really make any sense when you think about it, but I guess his parents might be the strongest characters, unless that was a joke, which would probably make more sense. Anyways, that's complicated, but you should subscribe, and while you're still here, click the video on screen. I'm sure you'll love it.